I've been injured in a car accident and it's not my fault. Hey there, I'm Chris Klotz with the Stevenson and Klotz Injury Law Firm here in Pensacola. And I'm going to answer this question, talk just about a few basic things that you can do if you're injured in a car accident. It's not your fault. What do you do? So first and foremost, the first thing that you do is you call the police and you make a report, and you make sure that everybody on the scene is safe and that there's no other danger, and you make the accident scene as safe if you can. If somebody has been injured, then obviously call for help. Once you get the whole scene safe and the police on the way, then there's a couple of other things that you need to think about. Number one is, if it's safe to take photographs, take as many photographs of your car and the other car as you can. You're going to want to do a driver's exchange of information. That's where you trade insurance information. It's really helpful to get the names of any witnesses that may be on the scene, because I see in many of these cases, I'll have a client come in, a week or two after an accident and said, hey, there were lots of witnesses, they saw what happened, and then I'll get the police report about the crash, and sometimes the officers won't list the names of the witness in the crash report. So if you're able to get the names of any of the witnesses at the scene, try to get their name and their address and maybe what kind of car they were in. That way, if we can find them as we're working on your case, and that will be really helpful to us. Just expect sometimes that the officers may not have time or may forget to put the witnesses' names and contact information in the police report, and if then nobody has it after everybody's left the scene, we have a very difficult time finding them again. The other thing, a couple things to know, is you don't have to give a statement about your bodily injuries to the at-fault party's insurance company. If they call you, you can say, I'd rather not give a statement at this point, and then let the attorney know that somebody has reached out to you from the at-fault party insurance company. You're not required to give them a statement. Next, and this probably should have been a little bit higher up on the list, is if you're hurt, get some help. Because if your body is injured after an automobile accident, the number one thing that you want to do is get yourself healthy again, right? And that's not going to happen unless you have an appointment with the doctor or some type of medical care. And so that's something that's really important, not just for your case, but really more importantly, just for your health. You want to get back healthy as soon as you can, and you can't do that without having an appointment to see somebody that can provide you with the medical care that you need. And also, that's helpful in your case because there will be some type of documentation from a professional as to what your injuries are, and that way we'll have a record that you actually had an injury after your accident. And what's really kind of funny about car crashes is that you may not feel any pain immediately from a car accident. It's not uncommon at all for people who have been injured in an automobile accident not to experience any type of symptoms until maybe a day or two. Your adrenaline's running so high on the first day and that sometimes the injury just doesn't really show up until a couple of days later. So if you have an accident, you may not expect to feel everything from the accident until a day or two later. That is not uncommon at all. And if you start feeling that, then maybe that would be your key or indication that you need to go see somebody and try to get some medical help. And then finally, give us a call. If you have been in an accident and it's not your fault, we would be happy to talk to you about your case and let you know what your options are and how a case would work. That's what we do, and we would be happy to help you. So I hope that answers your question about what to do if you have been injured in a car accident and it's not your fault. This is Chris Klotz with the Stevenson Klotz Injury Firm in Pensacola. Hope you guys tune in, and if you have any questions, always give us a call. There's no charge for an initial consultation. Take care and talk to you next time.